So this year, one of my goals was to read more books than I did last year, which was a total of 3. And I'm proud to announce that I did meet my goal. I've read 4 books so far, and it's only March, which is a huge accomplishment for me as a self-proclaimed non-reader. It's not that I dislike reading, it's very time-consuming for me, and I just don't really know what types of books I like to read. So this is a year of me discovering myself and what I enjoy the most when reading. But because of it, this review is going to be very surface level. I haven't gotten to the point where I could sit down and really digest the stories. I just know how I feel when I read them. But hopefully I'll get to the point where I can do like a comprehensive review and like actually talk about in-depth details. But also because I've kind of forgotten some of these books because I finished most of them in January. I finished most of them in January. So don't expect like a heavy review. This is just very, again, surface level for those who are maybe also not a reader. I don't know. The first one is The Crucible. This was mandatory reading for me in high school for AP Lit, I think, and obviously I didn't read it. And I'm mad at myself that I didn't because I really liked this. I enjoyed the fact that it's historical and it's about the Salem witch trials and it's not that long. It reminded me of the game Little Hope. I don't know who makes it, but it had Will Poulter in it, and I liked that, so I liked this. I like that it's a play. I will say I wish they reinserted. I wish that they had put back Act 2, Scene 2. Like, it's in this book, but it's at the end. But I think it has a lot of context that is needed in the story, and it's kind of a nice break between, like, the whole... It's a good break. I like it. I liked it a lot, but they put it at the end, and I'm sure it's for a good reason, but I don't know. I would like for it to be placed back in its original spot. I don't have really anything else to say about it. I just liked it. I liked it. It was a quick, easy read for me. I liked the drama. I think I liked the drama aspect to it. Next one. Tender is the Flesh. This, I'm going to say, was a bit of a TikTok recommendation, a TikTok book, if you will. I really wanted to like it because last year I read A Brave New World, and I don't know why I assumed that this would have like similar themes to. I mean, I guess it does, but not as much as I would have liked. I got maybe like just before halfway, and I had to put it down because it made me feel really uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable with my own body, which is something that has never happened before, and I was like, I don't like that. So I put it down, but I figured I should just pick it back up and just muster through it. And I'm glad that I did because I think my favorite part was like the last few chapters because that's where it really picks up. I was able to kind of figure out the ending, again, like halfway through the book. Did it happen exactly? No, but very, very close. And honestly, I would have preferred my ending to the book. But nonetheless, it was still jarring. I think my biggest problem is that it's through the perspective of a man. I find it very hard to relate to a man or anybody with wealth. Because I was thinking, like, this would be so much better if it was written through the perspective of a woman. Like, I would have liked to see that a little bit more. But no, it's all through a man. And it is kind of slow. And it's kind of like, when is it going to pick up? Which is why I like the last few chapters, is because that's when it really picks up. And, like, everybody's secrets start to come out a little bit. Like, yeah. But also, like, nothing really is answered in the end. It felt like it was written more for, like, shock value than for any actual substance. I mean, like, I get, like, the whole thing behind, like, society and how it views people and whatever, but I think it would have liked it to have a lot more depth in that department. I also really didn't like the main character. I feel like he was a bit of a lump, just a lump, not even on a log, he's just a lump. And he just really irritated me for some reason. Like, I don't know. I was just irritated throughout the whole thing. which is why like I really pushed to finish this book. I don't think I would necessarily read it again, unless maybe I forgot majority of it, but this is just kind of like I wouldn't recommend it. So I don't know, there's that one. And then we have The Picture of Dorian Gray. I really wanted to dip my toes into like the gothic genre, and I thought this might be a really good introduction, and it is. I enjoyed it. I really liked the ending. The ending really tickled my peach. It was exactly how I thought it would end, but I enjoyed that. That was what I wanted. The only thing though, and this is gonna sound crazy, I wish he was worse. I wish he was a terrible, terrible person. It's not that he isn't, it's just, I think he could be worse. And I would have liked that. I like that shock factor. And I don't know if it's just because I'm in the year 2026 experiencing modern men, but a lot of these things he did, I was like, that's just kind of the norm. Some things were also left unanswered for me, and I have a lot of questions, but I guess that's the whole point, is for you to create your own narrative around those things, which is cool. I really didn't like chapter 11. Chapter 11 really took it out of me. It was just very long and boring, and I will admit to you, I did skim through it a little bit, but I understand the context of why it's there, and I do think it works, and I do think it was necessary to have that chapter. Yeah, I liked it. I just wish it had just had more shock factor to it for me, and then it probably would have been my favorite book. But now I know that I like to have crazy people in my books. But it was good. I recommend it. I would probably read it again at some point if I forgot enough about it, just to reread that ending. I really liked the ending. The ending was good for me. The most recent finish was The Hunger Games. Now, I remember when this came out when I was in middle school, and I was not interested in it at all, nor have I ever been interested. This was something that I had to read for work. It is now considered mandatory literature for middle schoolers here in California, which is crazy. What else? Last year I read Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief. That's also recommended reading for middle schoolers, which is crazy to me because that was a book that everybody was reading just for fun, and now it's like, now you have to read it. Out of the two though, I do think this one's my favorite. Percy Jackson was one thing to know about me is I hate superheroes. I dislike superheroes with a passion. I do not like the whole power aspect that they have. It just takes me, I don't know, I just don't like it. But this one doesn't have any superpowers. It's just crazy people who are really good at things. I really liked it. I never thought that I would, but here we are. I will say I knew how it would end because I haven't even seen the movie, but it's such an old classic. You kind of just figure out what happens just based on people discussing it in open spaces. I will admit, I really dislike Peeta. I find him so annoying. I don't know why. He's just so helpless. And I'm like, God, Peeta, pick up some slack, damn it. And it was really interesting reading this alongside a bunch of middle schoolers too, who've never read it before, and to kind of see their perspective versus mine on certain things in the book, especially now during our current political climate where this is a very real possibility, and there's lots of discussion about like dystopian worlds and how it compares to our world now, which was just good in general for me. Did they understand? Probably not. But for me, there was a really good thought process happening there as I'm like, considering that we will very soon have our own Hunger Games. Shocked by this, pleasantly surprised. Will I read it again? Probably not, but I'm more inclined to read the second book now. I don't know how many books there are. Honestly, I don't think I would read the second book either. unless I have to. I don't care. It's the Hunger Games. It's not necessarily up my alley, but it was good considering that I had to read it. That's it. That's my review. I'm currently reading The Monk, which is a bit of a struggle, but it's starting to pick up. It's starting to pick up. I need to get through like the initial like story building at the beginning of the book first before we really get into the meat and potatoes. But it's starting to pick up, and I'm starting to like it a little bit more and more. And then I hope to move on to Blood Meridian. That one's exciting. I think I'm really gonna like that one because I know it has a shock factor, and it's about the Western expansion of the U.S. So hopefully that's a good one for me. And if you're lucky, I will do another one of these once I finish more books. Yeah, that's it.